Hello everyone, Specter here and welcome to Star Citizen. Today I'm going to take a look at this L21 Wolf. Sorry about not making videos for a long time. I actually make videos for L21 and L22 together, but it turns out the video is too long, so I don't want to really make that video, it turns out. So I'm going to make this L21 individually and L22 individually like this. So I hope you guys don't mind about it. So this L21 Wolf is the first Kruger ship to have a quantum drive. So before this, actually, you only have two options for the Kruger ships, Merlin and Archimedes. You can find both ships on Constellation series of ships. So Merlin would be on Aquila and Andromeda, while Phoenix you can find the Archimedes. So yeah, both of those ships were not equipped with quantum drive until L21 appeared and flyable in the first. So it's a big leap for the Kruger family. So this L21 Wolf is a light fighter, one-seater, and your main armament would be this size 4 ballistic Gatling guns. But right now, since L22 is flyable with its size 4 laser repeaters, so if you really want to have a laser repeater, you can purchase the kit on the website for $12.5 US, and you can enjoy that kind of privilege. But personally, I don't recommend it. Later on, I will talk about it. Now, you can see there will be 4 size 1 missiles on each wing, so 8 in total. This ship is kind of gold standard already, so you can see if you press this button, you can see a lot of components coming out, which increase your efficiency when you talk about repairing the ship. And this is a fuel port in here. Now you got shields in here, quantum drives in here probably. That is a fuse probably, and this is a computer, I think. And this is the place for you to enter the ship. And you got some gun racks in here to put some guns in the future. Right now it's not very useful. And you got, I think it's a power plant. And you got a storage in here, which is kind of bugged if you opened it before. So you can put some armor and loot inside, just like what I'm doing right now, like this. Then you can put it inside, like this. So basically the right hand side of the ship would be very similar to the left hand side. So although I said that it would be quite efficient for you to repair the ship, but some sort of components would be up there above the ship like this, which kind of annoying, but still, well, as long as you can call it out, yeah, you can fix it easily, right? So this one, I don't know what it is, but it's some sort of ship's component probably. And at the side, both sides actually the same, which you got coolers, I believe. So the other side would be the same over there. And at the back, probably is a computer or battery. I don't know. It says a battery. Is it? Or radar? I don't know. Yeah. So I think it's battery. Not so sure why battery is here. Okay. So these are all the exterior thing for the L21 Wolf. Let's take a look at inside. So this is the animation for you to get inside of the ship. And let's to be honest, the view is very good as a fighter. I think CIJ really do their homework. So it's a very nice cockpit in here. And you've got some lights, although it's not very useful, because if you switch your lights off, then you can't see your legs very clearly. If you switch it on, then yeah, you can see your legs right now. Very good. Now, the only thing I think CIG designed this ship is very good is not this clock. It's this ejection button. Normally, for many combat ships, you got this button very high up in here, so it may be around this location, the clock, where the clock is right now. So it turns out when you're looking around, all of a sudden if you accidentally press something in here, then you will find yourself outside of the ship, which is not very ideal during combat especially. So that's why I think CIG really like do their homework. At least they listen to the command probably, then they turn it a little bit underneath. So you really need to do it on purpose in order to find that button to eject yourself outside of the ship during, emergency. Now let's take a look at how it sounds like first. So it sounds like some sort of sports car, and when you take off, it sounds like Star Wars ships, which is very nice, like Naboo fighters probably. But the only sound effect I don't like about the ship is this. When you retrieve or deploy your landing gear, it looks like this. I don't know whether you guys can hear it or not, but it is exactly the sound of the freight elevator coming up and down. So, which is quite annoying. But anyway, it's just a sound effect. It's not a big deal. It's not going to be a game-breaking thing. And also, I think CIG really listened to the players' comments because, this fin originally is like, it's stuck there. It's not going to like really come off when you shoot at it or whatever. So it turns out when you crash landing, you probably would tip over because of this fin. But now, after 4.4, they take out this button, then you actually can retrieve it, which is very nice because this is very important, because in the future of Star Citizen, if your ship is in the atmosphere, then if your engine is switched off due to any kind of reasons, then your ship can actually glide itself down. But, if you have that fin sticking out like this, then as I said, it would just like tipped over, right? You won't have a very smooth crash landing. I mean, you won't be smooth when you crash landing, I know, but you know what I mean, right? So, yeah, you will be absolutely died because of that, your character, I mean. So, that's why having this button, at least you'll have a very, smooth bottom, so that you can land on the ground a little bit smoother compared to having a fin down there. Okay, so let's land first. Switch off. Now you can see the main armament in here is gimbal mount size 4 weapon, and right now it's 1,700 rounds. Originally it's supposed to be 4,200 rounds, but I don't want to, rearm this ship because, well, I'm just simply being lazy. So, but anyway, this thing, each gun come up with 4,200 rounds is plenty enough as a light fighter, because in the future of Star Citizen, no matter what kind of situation, this thing is not going to be in the space for a long period of time. So it means that you have to go back to base or go back to the carrier for rearming, right? And no matter what kind of circumstances. So 4,200 rounds is far enough for each gun already. And you have 8 size 1 missiles, as I said before. These are the only armaments you got for the whole entire ship. And okay, so let's talk about its performance. During combat, just like the Gladius as an arrow, anvil arrow, I got a very easy time to chase after my opponents. I mean, talk about PvE, that's for sure, because I'm not a very good fighter pilot, right? So basically, I can chase after them, and I can actually dodge their fire and also get behind them and shoot at them, which is very nice. Except if I need to really deal with Gladius and Arrow, then maybe they are quite nimble after all. so I have a hard time to chase after them or get them into line of sight or line of fire. But generally speaking, it's quite good and comfortable to control, and it's fast as well. In many situations, that it flies like a rocket, especially if you're like switch on the quantum drive. Then yeah, it really fly very fast. Anyway, this ballistic Gatling guns right now is not very, ideal for bounty missions, I think, because even though you can deal damage before you take down your opponent's shields, but still, if you face something looks like a prowler, then you may have a harder time to really hurt them. So I spent most of my ammo on the prowler, just to make sure it dies. So that's why it's quite hard for me to, if you are not a very good combat pilot, then this ship probably a little bit harder for you to, control and also doing missions in the long run. So yeah, anyway, if you talk about the warbond price, this ship is about 90 US dollars, but if you talk about standalone price, would be 100 USD. And okay, so basically, this is what this ship can provide you, and I would like to talk about what I feel about this ship and whether I will recommend people to buy this ship. So if you are asking me as a new player, like if you want to find a light fighter to purchase, then what kind of ship you want? Will you recommend this L21? And my answer would be no. Here come some reasons. Okay, if you want to like experience more about different weapons, then of course this ship itself is not very ideal because you only have two kind of weapons can change. So this one is L21, the ballistic Gatling guns for this L21, as well as the L22 laser repeaters. Only these two guns can fit on this ship. The others you can't. So if you want to experience more about different kind of weapon types, so for example distortion weapons like shotguns, I don't know why you need to put it on, then you probably want to purchase the other ships, like for example the Gladius or maybe the Arrow, the Anvil Arrow, instead of this ship. Secondly, it's about the long run. So basically, the same kind of reasons. Basically, it's about logistics, because in the future of Star Citizen, if you have a limited style of weapons can fit on their ship, it means that in the first probably would be less likely for you to find a suitable weapons if you really need to rearm your ship or refit your ship after combat when you got damage or something like that. So it's not very ideal, right? Comparing to the Gladius and Anvil Arrows, these ships itself can fit most of the armament in the first. So it's better for you to choose those ships for combat, right? Because you have an easier time to repair your ship after getting damage, or replace your weapons after getting damage. So yeah, that is it. That is why I would consider, like, if you really want to purchase a kind of light fighter as a new player, then this may not be an ideal choice for you. So yeah, anyway, as a new player, if you really want to purchase a ship that's about, as a starter or whatever, is this ship going to be an ideal ship? I would say no, because as a new player, you probably want to experience as much like gameplay as possible. And this ship without any cargo capacity, except for that exterior, storage, then you can't really transport any kind of cargo boxes or whatsoever. It's not ideal. So I would suggest you to purchase something with, a cargo space. Even for like Avenger Titans would be a little bit better than this L21 Wolf, if that's the case. And it's cheaper as well. Slightly cheaper. So you don't really need to have L21 as a starter ship or something like that. Alright, so basically that is it for today's video about this L21 Wolf. I hope you enjoy. I will see you in the next time. Bye bye.